Hi, boys and girls. Today is Monday, March 15th, and we're going to be doing reading. All you need today is your small reading book, okay? So just your small reading book. Before we start, I want to go over our words for this week. Let me make sure. Okay. I have a lot of cards here, and all right. Okay. So, our words for this week. Found. F-O-U-N-D. Found. That's a cute picture. The next word is near. N-E-A-R. It has the word ear in it. Near. Ear. Near. The next word, wood. This is not like wood from the trees. W-O-U-L-D. This child would like to ride the horse. You can see her. My hand was covering it. Would. Would. That's a tricky one, but like think of should, could, would. They all have that L in there. Hard, hard. AR makes an R sound. Hard, hard. We're going to talk about that sound next week, actually. Woman, woman. I see the word man in it, right? Woman. And our last word is right. Okay, last week our spelling word was right, R-I-G-H-T. Right. This is when you write something. I see if you cover up the W, this looks like just like how you would say it. Right. W kind of doesn't make a sound, does it? Right. Right. Okay, those are our words for this week, our high frequency words. Okay, this week we've been talking about animals a lot. Last week we talked about insects, but insects are animals. We've been talking about animals. We talked about, at the beginning of the book, we talked about animals and their bodies and how they use their bodies to help them eat or protect them. And then the next week we talked about how animals work together, like teams, how they stay together. And then the next week we talked about how animals like survive, how they get food. Last week we talked about insects. And today we're talking about animals and how they help us. There are animals who really help us with things that we're going to talk about this week. So let's go over some vocabulary words. The two really important words for this week, signal. Signal. Do you know what signal means? The trainer gives a signal telling the dog to stay. Okay? So signals are a gesture, an action, or a sound that tells you to do something. So sometimes we hear a sound like the siren. That's a signal that there's probably a fire. A signal, when we're driving our car and we turn on the turn signal, that's so drivers around us know that we're going to be turning. So signal. The other really important word for this week that we're going to talk a lot about is clever. Look at that. Clever. That would be neat to see, wouldn't it? If you are clever, you are quick to think of good ideas or solve problems. Clever. This bird is very clever. Okay, so really remember, we're really going to be talking about these two words a lot this week, clever and signal. Okay, here are some other words for this week. One of them is career. Career. You know what that word means? A career is the kind of work or job a person does. So my career is a teacher. And someone who works at the fire, if they go and put out fires, then they would be a firefighter. The person who delivers the mail would be a mailman or mailwoman. Career, doctor, nurse, construction worker, car mechanic, all of those are careers. Trust. If you trust someone, you believe that person will do the right thing. You depend on that person. Nola trusts that her friend will tell the truth. Trust. She thinks that she is going to say the right thing and not a lie. Remarkable. Ooh, look at that picture. I wonder if you can do that. If someone is remarkable, he or she is unusual and special in some way. Pete is remarkable because he can walk on his hands. Advice. Do you know what advice means? When you ask someone for advice, you want to know his or her opinion about what should be done. The coach gave Sam advice on how to be a better soccer player. So he's giving his opinion. These are some things that you should do to become a better soccer player. So that's his advice. Soothe. Ooh. Ouch. Soothe. If something soothes you, it makes you feel better when you are upset or hurt. An ice pack will soothe your sore ankle. So those are our vocabulary words this week, and we're going to hear them when I read this story called Ming's Teacher. And I like this story. Ming's Teacher. This is a tale from China. A long time ago, in a small town in China, there lived a man named Chung who trained dogs. Chung was a remarkable teacher and could teach dogs how to do amazing tricks. One day, Chung went to the town square with one of his gifted dogs. That means the dog was really talented. People gathered to see what the dog would do, including a boy named Ming, who was fascinated by Chung's skills. Chung held the dog's gaze for a few seconds. So he's like really looking at him in the eyes. He held his gaze. Then he nodded and began to hum a tune and clap his hands. The dog sprang up on her hind legs, the back legs, and danced in perfect time with the beat. After the performance, Chung rewarded the dog with a small treat and patted her head to show his approval. Everyone applauded to show their appreciation and excitement, especially Ming. So Ming is the little boy. I'm kind of guessing, don't you think? That's probably going to be the little boy. So he is a good teacher, a remarkable teacher, it said. More than anything, Ming wanted to have the same career as Chung. I want to learn how to train dogs the way Chung does, Ming thought. After all, how hard could it be? Ming was eager to start, so he found a stray dog that had been wandering around town. He took the dog home and named him Li. Ming tried to act just the way Chung had. He held the dog's gaze and then he nodded. "Dance for me, Li," Ming commanded in a loud voice. He hummed a tune and clapped his hands the way Chung had. but Lee responded by looking confused and scared. "Dance, Lee, dance for me, you silly dog," he urged more loudly. However, the poor dog detected he could feel anger in Ming's voice, and he ran behind a tree and hid. Ming tried again and again, but he was not successful. No matter what he said or did, the dog would not obey him. So he probably should show him, right? Shouldn't he show him how to do that? He's not going to just know how to do it. Now Ming was totally confused and frustrated. He thought he was doing exactly what Chung had done. "Why isn't it working for me?" he asked himself. So he went to see Chung to ask for his advice, and he brought Lee with him. "Master, I have been watching you for a long time. Dogs always obey you, yet this dog pays no attention to what I say. I do not know what I am doing wrong." "My dear boy, you want this dog to perform tricks?" replied the wise man. "But what have you done for the dog? Are you kind to him? Do you soothe him when he is scared? Are you patient with him? Do you reward him when he does well?" Ooh, all good things. Ming listened carefully to Chung's questions. Then he nodded and smiled. "I understand what you are saying," he said. "Thank you, my teacher." He couldn't wait to try the tricks again with Lee. Ming returned home with Lee. From that day on, he was always kind to his dog. He petted him often. He played with him, and he gave him good food to eat. Soon the dog grew to love and trust Ming. A few weeks later, Ming took Lee to the town square. Several people gathered to watch them. Ming stroked Lee's head and smiled at him. He held the dog's gaze for a few seconds. Then, in a kind voice, he gave Lee commands to shake hands and roll over. Lee happily did as he was told, and Ming rewarded him with a treat and patted his head again. The gathering crowd applauded, including Chung, who smiled at Ming. "You have learned an important lesson, my son," said Chung. You must give first before you can receive. It is this way with all living creatures." Right? You're going to be nice to someone. It's nice for you to be nice to someone, and then they'll be nice back, right? So, why was Chung a remarkable teacher at the beginning? He was able to teach the dogs a lot of tricks, like dancing. They were able to do amazing tricks. And who likes to watch Chung's dog do the tricks? Ming. What does Ming try to do first? He just expects him to be able to do the tricks, right? And then he is kind of mean to him. So was the dog doing then what Ming wanted him to do? No. So who does Ming ask for help? Chung. And what advice did he give him? I'm going to just read it because he says it in such a good way. What have you done for the dog? Are you kind to him? Do you soothe him when he is scared? Are you patient with him? Do you reward him when he does well? All those things. And Ming is probably like, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. So he had some good advice. And so what changes does Ming make to make, or what changes does Ming do so that Lee will do what he asks? He followed everything Chung said. He's kind to him. He pets him. He gives him treats. He plays with him. So what happens then when he's done all these things? Lee is able to do some tricks. So he learned when you are kind to someone else or something, then usually they're kind back, right? That was a really good story. Okay, I need for you to have out your small book and turn to page 92 and 93 in your small book. 92 and 93. Giving you some time to get your book out. 92 and 93. So, what do you think, what are they doing on this page? This is a trainer, and the trainer is training the dog to rescue. So, question that we're thinking about this week, well, we're talking about working with animals, and the question is, how do people work with animals? And what do you think this trainer is doing? I think I probably kind of said the answer. To rescue people, especially like out in the snow, out on a mountain, if they're skiing and they get lost. So this dog would be able to help rescue. All right, turn the page. Here are the words that I went over for this week. Let's go over them again. Found, hard, near, woman, would, right, clever. I love that one. Signal. Notice all of the pictures have animals in them. We've been talking about animals. All right, turn the page. This week we are talking about Y. Last week we talked about Y that sounds like I. This week we're talking about Y that sounds like E. Some of your names might have a Y at the end that sounds like E, especially if it has 2 syllables. Okay, so let's read these words. Lucky, lucky. Y on the end sounds like E. Buddy, buddy. Easy, easy. Like last week our words were try. That's 1 syllable. Cry, 1 syllable. So then it sounds like I. Grassy, alley, Mickey, penny, valley, sunny, city, sleepy, healthy. I kind of wanted to cheer those words. So it sounds like syllables. Okay. All right, turn the page. So now we are ready for the story called From Puppy to Guide Dog. And this is nonfiction. How do people work with animals? We're going to read about how people train guide dogs. So just like in the story that I read, Ming's teacher, animals that help us or help people, they have to be trained, right? So, all right, let's read From Puppy to Guide Dog. Most dogs are pets, but some dogs help people. What is the key to making a dog a good helping dog? So what it's saying is not every dog is going to be a good helping dog. Some are just meant to be pets. And maybe some of you have dogs that are just pets, right? Okay, so you can tell here this is definitely a dog that's going to be a helping dog, right? Helping, which we'll read more about it in just a minute. Okay, so page 100 and 101. A buddy to be. Ready? Mickey is a cute and clever puppy. He runs, jumps, and plays. One day, when he grows up a bit, Mickey will be a helping dog. He will be a daily buddy to a person who cannot see. So someone who is blind, they need a dog that can help them. Helping dogs are called guide dogs. To be a guide dog, a puppy must be bright, means it must be smart. It cannot be lazy or fussy. The puppy will need to learn many skills. A new home is found for the puppy when it is 8 weeks old. And so here's the fact. Most guide dogs are Labrador retrievers. They are very intelligent and easy to train. And there it says right here, guide dogs can be big or tiny. So, what kind of puppy makes a good guide dog? It said, here it said Labrador retrievers, but it also says they have to be bright, they cannot be lazy or fussy. Those are some other important things. All right, turn the page. A family of trainers. A puppy like Mickey stays with a family for at least 1 year. The family plays with it and feeds it. Kind of sounds like Ming's teacher. They help the puppy stay healthy and teach the puppy a lot. So a fact, 10,000 people in the U.S. and Canada use guide dogs. And so each puppy has checkups at the vet. So what we're talking about right now is this is where puppies, they're learning right now. They're in a home that's teaching them how to be a helping dog, a guide dog. Each puppy learns how to act nicely with people and other animals. The family gets the dog used to a lot of tasks and settings. Puppies may visit many kinds of places in the city. They go to homes and shops. And the red caption, every dog must be trained by itself, meaning that there can't be other dogs. They have to be just by themselves. This dog watches its favorite team. So, how long will a puppy stay with a family? Right here, 1 year. So this family is teaching it how, like I said, how to be the helping dog. Okay, turn the page. Learning new tasks. As time goes by, the dogs are trained how to go across the street. The dog learns to stop at a red signal. This will help the dog safely lead a person who cannot see the traffic. So, a fact, guide dogs are allowed in restaurants, stores, school, any place a person can go. This guide dog learns to cross a street. So you can kind of tell guide dogs have a different type of leash. You can usually tell it's more like a handle, and it probably is called something else, but that's kind of how, a little bit how you can tell it's a guide dog. So it says they're allowed places, which means if someone needs a guide dog, then those dogs are allowed inside all of those places. If a dog is just a pet, a lot of places aren't going to let the dog go. PetSmart lets them go in, right? All right, page 105. Some guide dogs can be trained to help a man or a woman who cannot move or walk. He or she might need help with a lot of hard tasks, both inside and outside the home. A dog can be trained to get an elevator and to reach objects. So in the top picture, the dog is pushing the elevator button. The bottom picture is kind of helping that person reach objects at the store. So that kind of goes with the picture at the beginning of the story where the man was in the wheelchair. Oh, one more page. And he has this dog. So that dog is probably going to help them pick up things at the store that they can't reach. They can push elevator. They can also kind of learn how to, if a doorknob is one like that you do like this, they can help you turn that doorknob. And guide him through things, all those kind of things. It's very important. All right. So, page 106, 107, eyes and ears. Some dogs are trained to help people who cannot hear. If the dog hears a bell ringing or a yell, it would lightly tug or poke the person with its nose. A dog can be taught to alert its owner to sounds. Guide dogs should not be bothered while working. So if you see them out somewhere, you shouldn't go over and try to pet them because they're working. If you go and pet them, then they're going to be distracted from watching and helping its owner. Ready to guide. Training a puppy for a year is not an easy job. Owners may call or write to thank the family that raised their puppy. Training a guide dog helps a lot of people. So, how does a guide dog get trained to help people? What are the ways that it gets trained? Remember when it talked about it's watching the red light? This page it's talking about listening to loud sounds to alert its owner that can't hear. It was helping grab things off of the shelf, helping them push the elevator door. Lots of things, right? Okay, so I think that this is a really important job that these families have to train these puppies to be good guide dogs. They're really special people because then they have those puppies for a year and then they have to give them to somebody, which would be kind of hard to do too. Okay. Tomorrow, we're not going to have a video. Tomorrow you're going to reread this. Okay? Tomorrow you're going to reread this. And tomorrow you are going to work on this page. You are going to work on this page. What you're going to do is we're talking about the letters Y and EY at the end of a word can make the long E sound. So you're writing Y or EY. Okay, I'm just going to tell you for tomorrow. This is the only one that has E. Uh-oh. Whoops. I don't know what happened. This is the only one that has EY. All the rest have Y. So you're writing Y at the end and then rewriting it. And then reading the words. Okay, the other side. Here are the words found, woman, hard, would, near, right. You're using those words in the sentence. Look what I noticed. Number 2, it's going to start the sentence. So what does that word need? A capital letter at the beginning. Okay. Before I go, so that's what you're going to do tomorrow. You're going to reread the first story, and then you're going to work on that page. Let's work on these words again. Found, OU makes an ow sound. Right. Woman. Hard. Would. Near. Okay, so on Wednesday we're going to be reading out of your big book. So have a good day today, rest of the day, and tomorrow, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye. It'll be St. Patrick's Day on Wednesday. Hopefully you're wearing some green. Bye.